BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 432. It is the beginning of February. And it is a random week. So I thought I'd do something different. Take a little bit of a break. Almost seems blasphemous, right? Take a little bit of a break from Italian cinema and revisit, if I could, a slasher from the early 80s. Tom DeSimone's, of course, we are talking about his 1981 gothic horror, somewhat of a slasher, of course. Hell Night. Interesting movie. The Scream Factory put out an absolutely incredible release of this, packed with a lot of stuff. But anyways, here is Scream Factory if you've never seen it by chance. And of course, reversible cover art, but that's the cover we all remember, is it not? I mean, this is the cover of the VHS tape when I frequented my favorite stopping point there called Movie World, I think it was. And anyways, that was the VHS cover. That is the cover I grew up with. The reversible art is not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. But I mean, this is what we remember, right? And so there you go. Hell Night from 1981. When's the last time you saw this? You know, it was interesting. Whenever you revisit things that you have not seen in a while, you see them through a slightly different lens. And by the way, so I don't forget, this is the last release by Compass International. I do believe that is the logo that comes up when you watch things like The Fog. I almost want to say, pretty sure Halloween. Yeah, because Yablans is the producer, serves as producer on here. Irwin Yablan, who of course served as producer on Halloween. So yeah, it's Compass International. So, but this is it. This is the last film that Compass International put out. And it's good that Scream Factory gave it everything that it needed. Lots of extras in this thing here. Commentary with the director, Blair. Of course, she headlines the cast, right? And the kid who plays her boyfriend, Jeff, will go on to Friday the 13th, Part 4. And there's a great interview with him in this thing as well, where he talks a little bit about his background as I'm not going to be an actor. And then suddenly he finds himself with opportunity to do just that, an act, and just really kind of spend some time talking about how much Blair and others meant to him in terms of grooming him, helping him, and in his development as a young actor. And it's interesting. There's a lot of things like that. There's a great documentary on here on the production design, which I guess maybe I'll just speak to that real quick. Well, let's just speak to the story real quick. I can't imagine anyone out there has never seen this movie. But just in case, brief synopsis. So it is Pledge Night. Alpha, I can't even remember what it is now. Dang it. Rose, I can't remember. But anyways, it's Pledge Night. Four people get asked in order to become sorority members of this house. They need to spend the night in this old, dilapidated, whatever, I'm trying to get the word. It's pretty much a vacant mansion. Garth, the Garth residence, I think it's known as, Garth Manor maybe. And anyways, this place has been pretty much condemned and everything else. Why it's still standing, I'm not sure. Historical land, I don't know. But they get asked, if they're going to be members, they got to sleep, they got to make it throughout the night. And this mansion, of course, comes with a legend that father pretty much just got tired of having deformed kids, decides to wipe out the whole family one night. But the legend has it that two of the boys survive and have spent all these years living in this mansion in the underground corridors, and they're there somewhere, according to legend. And as we'll find out, of course, there's a little bit more to this than just legend as our four. And not only that, but let's see. Okay, let me try to remember the characters' names here. Linda Blair plays Marty, and she's sort of like your typical, at least from when I remember my childhood, probably a slightly different kind of, I don't know. But she's a bit of a tomboy, right? She spent more time with her dad looking underneath the hood of her car, which will serve her well towards the end of this movie. And Marty, adorable, of course. Linda Blair is absolutely adorable in this thing. And her boyfriend, Peter Barton, I want to say his name is, plays Jeff. He'll go on to be in Friday 4. And they kind of, an interesting couple there. They spend more time just sort of talking than anything else. And then, of course, you got Seth, who's called Wes throughout this movie. Is so funny. And his girlfriend, I want to say her name was Denise, and she's a bit of a party girl. Well, a little bit more than a party girl. And so those two, they become your couples. They're the four that need to spend the night and survive this mansion, right? And so they will. And you know the rest. There are two brothers, not to give any real spoilers away, but there are two killers in this thing. And they will go throughout the night, not only having to deal with that eventually, but initially Peter, Scott, and May, two brothers, I think Scott, I'm pretty sure, maybe Scott, Peter, yeah, and then May, the girl. Those are the three who are basically going to make their nights miserable by setting up all these elaborate tricks and stuff. It's kind of got a weird Scooby-Doo sort of vibe. You know, it's sort of that people are going out of their way to scare people out of this mansion. They don't want them to make it throughout the night. But there is a threat that is concealed within this place, of course, and it rooted down into the legend of the story here, right? And so anyways, that's really your story here. And Linda Blair, I mean, it was really fun revisiting this movie because there's a few scares in here that I remembered really just being spellbound by. Like, there's a scene where there's a trapdoor in the one bedroom, and I want to say it's Marty and Jeff, and there's a carpet that lays over the trap door. They don't realize this. The trap door must pull down, right? So they don't realize there's a trap door under there. And anyways, the killer and you kind of like, the camera's back behind them, right, looking past them, and suddenly the carpet on the floor just starts to slowly rise, almost kind of in a Halloween-esque moment, sort of, maybe Freddy from Nightmare, of course, later on. It just has that Halloween vibe, man. And so it has some great moments. It's got a great gothic feel from the old heyday. I mean, you think about, well, I tell you what, revisiting this, I spent more time thinking about James Whale's The Old Dark House from 32 than I did anything. It just seems like this is a 80s approach to an old dark house sort of movie. And so, I mean, so it's not your typical slasher. It really tried hard to set itself outside, whether it's the cinematography, the composer, the special effects artist, the makeup artist, the production design. I mean, everything that went into this, the main motivation, I think, was to do something to set it kind of apart from the rest, or at least that had come up to that point. Remember, it's still early, it's 1981. But there was a desire to do something different, to kind of throw a sort of a nod back to the heyday of the old sort of haunted house movies that take place. Now, I gotta say, man, the production design, I think it's the Kirby estate, if I remember. Is it Kirby? Seems like it. Anyways, in one of the documentaries, they show you how they were only allowed to film the exterior shots outside the mansion. They were not allowed in the mansion. So there are like three major components to this piece. There is all the exterior shots outside the mansion at night, and when you see what this mansion really looked like, and then what they turned it into by just bringing in stuff to cover it and just debris and everything else, amazing. They created a roof that was only several feet off the ground, so that's a separate component. And of course the interior shots were mostly done on set, and that is an interesting story, and how they got all the furniture from that. So I mean, So it's a seamless. I mean, like, if you didn't know that stuff and you just watched the movie, you would swear that when you're in the exterior shot and then in the interior shot or up on the roof, everything just is seamless. It's pretty remarkable when you look at the making of it. And it is pretty remarkable. Anyways, so it's interesting when you spend so much time in Italian cinema and watching other things, and you've grown over the years watching movies, and then suddenly you revisit something from 81 like Hell Night. It's just, it does have a different sort of vibe, and I love how it freaking ends. I love just the, without really getting into it, when, of course, I mean, when we're left with Linda Blair at the end, Marty, it's just the look on her face, everything she's been through. It's just not your typical slasher type ending. It's more just, I'm not going to say anticlimactic. It's just, it's reality almost feels. It's just subdued, and it just sort of, it is what it is. It's interesting. But I really dug this. I really got a kick out of this. Really stinking enjoyed this. I don't know what else to say. I know everyone's probably seen this a million times, but I highly suggest, if you don't own it, to grab the Scream Factory release of this thing. It's well worth it. They put a lot of nice effort into this. So yeah, so here in week 432, our first random week, just real quick, second week in will be Year Again. Films from 2004, as that is Sam, our Thursday night host, his birthday year. So we're all going to pull a film from 2004. And then theme week at the end is Love Horror. And I cannot wait to revisit Natural Born Killers at the end. But that week is looking really solid. And I have to say, March is looking pretty darn solid as well in terms of Mondo Macabre as a label week. And we don't have a theme week yet, but it's still looking pretty solid. There's going to be a lot of good films in March, as well as here in February. So we thank you for the support. We thank you for your views, for your comments, for checking in, for watching. Guys, this channel would not have been around this long for 7+ years if it wasn't for you. It's all you, man. It's all you. We can have fun and do this every week, but it's encouraging when you guys plug in and comment, just, you know, with some pretty awesome stuff. So appreciate it. Thank you. Shout out to all of you watching. Let's see. February. Hope all goes well for you guys. And unfortunately, as most of you probably know, my bills fell just a little tiny short in KC. That was pretty heartbreaking, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. It's done. It's Championship Sunday today. If I'm looking forward to a game, it's the Rams. It's Rams and 49ers, rooting for Stafford. Big Georgia fan here, so of course, you know, he played quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs back a ways. So rooting for him. Anyways, still love my Bills. So as always, we end these things off with go freaking Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.